What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another review, and this time we are doing NXT Heatwave. And I'm gonna say something out here. Triple H got cooked by HBK this weekend. Yeah, HBK came out and said, you know what? We're gonna have the best pay-per-view of this weekend. Forget about Money in the Bank. Forget about Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, all of those guys. Forget about them. Nah, we're gonna come out here and cook with the young OG. We're going to come out here and cook with Trick Williams. Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka are going to absolutely burn the place down. We got Obafemi showing that he is a future WrestleMania main event talent. NXT Heatwave was really good, guys. I have to admit, from the start, NXT Heatwave did not disappoint. And that was because we started with Obafemi. Why is my phone going off? It must be people still talking about NXT Heatwave. Anyway, we had Obafemi taking on Wes Lee, and this was an absolute banger. And what this match showed me is that Obafemi can now do 20-minute bangers by himself, one-on-one. Because he's been doing the triple threat thing for a while. And you think to yourself, okay, is that because he needs time on the outside? Is that because he can't go 20 minutes all by himself? And clearly not. Clearly, you give him someone to work with, and he can go for 20 minutes easily and pull off a championship level match. Wesley, absolutely fantastic as per usual, doing his thing, selling his ass off for Obafemi. It's the perfect foil to Obafemi, if we're being honest. You know, high flyer, small guy. It's the perfect foil for a man the size and the power of Obafemi. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. Did you guys see that F500? Yep, not an F5, that was an F500. He span, let me rephrase, Wesley spun around in the air and landed face first on his stomach. That was a crazy spot. That chop on the outside from Obafemi, crazy spot as well. Just everything Obafemi does is insane at this point. And honestly, Wesley came out here to make Obafemi look good, and that's exactly what he did. So, absolute banger match, probably the second best match of the night for me. So, we'll get on to the other matches. We then had Kalani Jordan taking on Sol Ruka for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And, wow, okay, Kalani Jordan is honestly so good in the ring. You know, she's got things to work on outside of the ring, like her promo work, like her character work, but put her in that ring, let that bell ring, hey, and she gets going. Sol Ruka, we obviously know all about Sol Ruka already, the things she can do, and they started the match off with a counter sequence. I'm not the biggest fan of those counter sequences, you know, the ones Rey Fenix, Will Ospreay, Ricochet does. Not a huge fan of them, but they did it. I'm not going to harp onto that. Then they started getting going, and we saw Poison Ranas from Kalani Jordan. From the top rope, Poison Ranas. We saw a 450 clothesline from Sol Ruka. Have you ever seen a 450 clothesline in your life, guys? Honestly, I watch a lot of wrestling outside of WWE. I don't think I've ever seen a 450 clothesline. I'm going to go look to see if anyone else has done it, but I have never seen it. So that was absolutely crazy. They really, really did well, and Kalani Jordan came out on top. Surprisingly, Kalani Jordan came out on top, because I thought, look, after her work on TV when she's not wrestling, they might now want to shift to Sol Ruka, because Sol Ruka is a better promo. But, nah, they're sticking with Kalani Jordan, and I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Sol Ruka versus Kalani Jordan either. In fact, I'd have them have multiple matches. Let them go back and forth at this point, because that was absolutely incredible. That was honestly one of the best woman matches I've seen this year. If not the best, might be a stretch, but definitely in the top women's match of the year. Definitely a contender for women's match of the year. I'll probably have to do some more looking into what we've already had, because you know how it is. You forget what you have. Recency bias takes over. But honestly, a really, really, really good match. And with that being said, we then moved on to the tag team action between Axiom and Nathan Frazier taking on Chase U. And, you know, every time I watch Chase U, I think to myself, how does this gimmick transfer onto the main roster? How do we get this gimmick in its current form and put it on the main roster? Because isn't that what we're doing here on NXT? NXT, we're trying to get them ready for the main roster. Now, Chase U really did perform in the ring. No issues there at all. Axiom and Nathan Frazier, we know what they're all about. Just pure speed, athleticism, all of that. So this match actually turned out better than what I thought. It had no reason to be this good, and it was this good. Duke Hudson is an absolute beast, but we know this already. Like, let's be real. We know Duke Hudson is a level above most in Chase U, and really, really good match. Like I say, I just worry about Chase U. They lost here now, and I just feel like they're going to be stuck on NXT for a very long time because they don't really know what to do with them on the main roster. And with them being stuck on NXT for so long, the losses are just coming and flying through now. But I'm sure they'll tell a story with it somehow. I trust Shawn Michaels at this point, honestly. And really, really good tag team match. Duke Hudson, the star of the show. Axiom and Nathan Frazier stay a tag team. And who beats them? Who beats Axiom and Nathan Frazier at this point? Honestly, I don't know anyone. I don't see a tag team right now that beats them. So I think they're going to hold the gold for a lot longer than we think. And then we moved on to Roxanne Perez taking on Lola Vice. And this match was one that told a bit more of a story than the other matches, which I quite liked. It was a different element now. But they still put on a banger at the same time. This was probably, for me, the... No, I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. The worst match on the show, but yet still an absolute banger. But I'm not even gonna say that because you know what? Every match slapped on the show. Like saying it's the worst match on a show that was this good is still a compliment somehow because the match was really, really good. It would have been a top 2 match on Money in the Bank or a top 3 match on Money in the Bank. Put it that way, you know. So really, really good match. Lola Vice ate them pop rocks. The finisher from Roxanne Perez. She had what was it, like 4 or 5 pop rocks before she eventually got put down, which is obviously due to the story of Lola Vice trying to get this win for her mom and for herself and not wanting to quit. That never say die attitude. But obviously Roxanne was just too much for Lola Vice. And Lola Vice isn't quite ready yet, we know this. But it was a good match nonetheless, and a good match to put her in the spot. And she delivered in the spot. You know, she was able to put in that 15-minute match, and it shows that there is a place for Lola Vice. But I do think a North American title will do her well. I think it'll set her up for a main title down the line that is. So Roxanne Perez leaves as our NXT Women's Champion, and I don't see anyone beating her except for maybe Julia. Whenever Julia decides to come back once she's healed up from her injury, once her dates are done in Japan, then I think Julia is going to be the one to defeat Roxanne Perez. And then we moved on to the main event, and this featured, obviously, the champ, Trick Williams. Then we had the young OG, Javon Evans. And then we had Shawn Spears and All Ego Ethan Page. So, fatal 4-way action, and guys, anyone who's ever said Ethan Page and Shawn Spears are mid and can't have a good match need to watch this match, because Shawn Spears and Ethan Page cooked in this match. Let me not even get on to Javon Evans, the 20-year-old who was the star of this match, because the things he does is out of this world, honestly. And he's only 20 years old, guys. 20 years old. And he's doing these sort of things. It's honestly unrivaled. We had Trick Williams in the match basically just doing defensive duty, stopping everybody from getting the pin, so that he can keep his title, you know. He was breaking pins left, right, and center, basically just fighting for his title. But at the end, it cost him. But we'll get to that. We saw spots from Javon Evans as he flew over the corner of over the ring post to the outside, taking out Trick Williams and going through the barricade. I know that sounds like a lot. You might have to watch it for yourself. We had Shawn Spears landing C4s off the top rope onto Javon Evans, and Javon Evans kicking out. We had, that chair shot from Shawn Spears where Javon Evans does a springboard and Shawn Spears lands a chair shot onto the back of Javon Evans was nasty. Ethan Page almost stealing the win from Shawn Spears as well. Crazy stuff throughout this match. Trick Williams eventually landed a big knee, sending Ethan Page, knocking him out, but he knocks him out, falling over Javon Evans. And what does that mean? 1, 2, 3, as Trick Williams could not stop the pin, and Ethan Page is your new NXT champion, ladies and gentlemen, which was a huge surprise. I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked that we got a new champion. Honestly, the fact that Ethan Page won, I'm happy. I wanted Ethan Page to win. Not because I have anything against Trick. I just think Trick does better when chasing for the title. But Ethan Page is a talent with a future in WWE. I honestly think he can be something in WWE. He didn't quite work. It didn't quite work out for him in AEW, but that's nothing against AEW. They have a talent pool that is really difficult to make your way through, and that is the purpose of NXT, to showcase what you can do in a smaller talent pool and on a developmental show. And that's what he's doing here. He's showing what he can do, and I'm excited for the era of Ethan Page. Now, after the match, as you see the signature and the show goes off, we get a little Joe Hendry teaser. 2-second clip of Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is coming back to NXT. I don't know. Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page? Maybe. I'm excited to see Joe Hendry again. So be sure to watch NXT this week, because I got a feeling he's going to make an appearance. All you got to do is say his name and he'll appear, guys. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.